Tyrone Bowman live. Welcome to the conversation. Welcome to the program on today. According to the BBC News, the headline reads, "The United States deports hundreds of Venezuelans despite court order." Well, let's get into this story and let's unpack it and see what's going on here. A plane carrying more than 200 Venezuelans deported by the United States has landed in El Salvador, hours after a U.S. judge ordered the Trump administration not to do so. El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele wrote on social media that 238 members of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Agua had arrived along with 23 members of the international MS-13 gang on Sunday morning. Their arrival in the Central American nation came after a federal judge blocked U.S. President Donald Trump from invoking a centuries-old wartime law to justify the deportations, something Berkeley made fun of later in a post. Quote, "Oopsie, too late," end quote, he said. The move by the U.S. to send alleged criminals from other countries to El Salvador was an arrangement Rubio previously called the most unprecedented and extraordinary migratory agreement anywhere in the world, quote unquote. Bokeh wrote that the detainees were immediately transferred to El Salvador's Terrorism Confinement Center, or Cite, for a period of 1 year, something that was renewable, suggesting they could be held for longer. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio confirmed the alleged gang members' arrival in El Salvador and thanked Berkeley, calling him the strongest security leader in our region. Hours before on Saturday morning or Sunday evening, U.S. District Judge James Boasberg ordered a halt to deportations covered by Trump's proclamation, which invoked the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. The law allows the government to detain and deport people threatening the country's safety without due process. After hearing that planes with deportees had taken off, Judge Boasberg ordered them back, the Washington Post reported. Rubio confirmed in a statement on Sunday that the deportations happened under the Alien Enemies Act and made no mention of the judge's ruling. He said hundreds of violent criminals were sent out of our country. A video attached to one of Boke's social media posts shows lines of people with their hands and feet shackled being escorted by armed officials from the plane. Some of the detainees are placed into the back of the armored vehicles, while others hunched over as officers push their heads down and are forced onto buses. The video also shows an aerial view of a long, winding police escort leading the buses into El Salvador's notorious mega gang Cite. The newly built maximum security jail is a proud achievement of Boke's and part of his effort to crack down on the country's organized crime. The facility, which can hold up to 40,000 people, has been criticized by human rights groups for malmistreatment of inmates. The arrangement between the U.S. and El Salvador is a sign of strengthening diplomatic ties. "Thank you for your assistance and friendship," Rubio told Bokeh on Sunday. El Salvador was the second country Rubio, the U.S.'s top diplomat, visited after he was sworn in. During that trip, which took place in February, Bokeh made an initial offer to take U.S. deportees, saying it would help pay for the massive Cite facility. The latest deportations under Trump's second term are part of the president's long-running crusade against illegal immigration in the United States. In January, Trump signed an executive order declaring Tren de Agua and MS-13 as foreign terrorist organizations. He won voters on the campaign trail in part by promising to act the largest deportation operation in history. The agenda has so far not met expectations, with Immigration and Customs Enforcement, known as ICE, agents not meeting Trump's daily quota for arrest. A recent report, however, suggested ICE agents had deported fewer immigrants in February than they had the same month a year prior during the previous administration under Biden. 11,000 in February 2025 compared to 12,000 in February 2024, according to NBC News. I'm Tyrone Bowman. Never surrender, never quit.